What's going on, everybody? Today, what I want to do is talk to you guys about the secret to getting what it is you actually want. And this secret is not really so much of a secret, but when I say it, it's going to be common sense. But I think when I break it down, you'll gain a level of clarity that most creators, most teachers won't quite give you. And the secret to actually getting what you want is you have to get good. Now, what does that mean? You have to get good at acquiring a certain level of skill. So, whatever it is you want, you have to realize that whether it's making more money, developing a better physique, becoming better socially, getting a relationship, there's certain skills that you have to develop in order to get it. And the secret is simply just get good. However, the big question is, how do you get good? And this answer is not often talked about. The way you get good at acquiring certain skills, the first step, this is the most important step, is you got to get into rhythm. I say that again. The first step, and by far the most important step, is you got to get into rhythm. Now, what does this mean? About 2 months ago, I was speaking to a guy at the gym. So it was 2 months ago. It was probably April, and he came up to me, and he's a little overweight, and he was asking me about tips to getting into shape. So I asked him, "What are you currently doing?" So he said at the beginning of the year, he made a decision to come to the gym 3 times a week for an hour, and he stuck with it for about a few weeks. He was coming to the gym 3 times a week for a whole hour, and then it dropped down to like 2 or 1, and now he's like inconsistent. And he asked me to recommend to him what should he be doing, because more particularly he wanted to, lose some weight, develop a little bit of muscle. I remember he was like a operating manager for some construction company, and I told him that the first thing you got to do is you got to get into rhythm. So he said, "What do you mean? What do you mean you have to get into rhythm?" I said, "You should be coming to the gym 7 days a week for maybe a month." And he said, "Wait, what? 7 days a week?" I said, "Yes." He said, "But I read that technically you should be only working out 3 times a week because your body needs time to recover." And he was very, very technical. He was super technical. He knew all about the eating, how to optimize nutrition. He knew the workout splits, everything that, any personal trainer, anybody that knows anything about fitness is going to tell you. Any expert will tell you. I said, "Yeah, that's very, very true. However, it's not maintainable." But he said, "But 7 days a week isn't maintainable." I said, "It is if you only come to the gym for 5 minutes." So I told him what I want him to do for the next month is to work out every day for about 5 minutes. I said, "Come to the gym, even if you're exhausted, even if you do a 12-hour shift, come to the gym and work out for 5 minutes." And he said, "Well, what good is going to do that? What good is that to only work out for 5 minutes?" He said, "Am I going to lose weight? Is this going to happen?" I said, "Nothing's going to happen. Nothing is going to happen. Because if you think about it, 7 days a week for 5 minutes, that's only 35 minutes. And he's probably more optimal for him would be to come to the gym once a week for an hour and train intense. However, the problem is because he's taken 6 days off. So 60 minutes, 1 day a week, 1 hour is 60 minutes versus 7 days a week for 5 minutes is 35 minutes. I would prefer him to do that. Why? Because he's training his mind, he's training himself to come to the gym every single day, to show up. In order for you to get into rhythm, You need to show up every single day. So I told him, hey, come to the gym every single day, even if it's just for 5 minutes. And no, you don't have to trick yourself. You don't have to say it's only going to be 5 minutes and stay for an hour. I literally mean 5 minutes. Now, he kind of like resisted it big time. He's like, dude, but this doesn't make no sense. Like, what am I going to get out of 5 minutes? What you're going to get is you're going to shift your identity to a person that shows up every single day and works out. You need to shift your identity to a person who actually shows up. Because what's going to happen is when he starts coming to the gym every day for 5 minutes, for a whole month, the obstacle that's usually in the way for most people is getting to the gym. However, if he works on the obstacle, which is coming to the gym every single day, the obstacle is him getting to the gym. So him showing up every single day, even if it's just for 5 minutes, is going to shift his identity. And it's going to get him into rhythm. And then once he gets into rhythm, that's when he could start optimizing his workout plans. Because that's what most people think they should be doing, is optimizing everything they do. So for instance, on this page, whether it's YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram, I hope you guys know this. If you've been following me for a long period of time, my stretches, a lot of times, like the reels or the shorts, they're only like 2-minute routines. And all the time, I always get these weird questions. It's not really weird questions. It's very, very common questions that people ask. What's the best time to do it? How long should I do it? Should I do it before coffee? And I kind of make fun of people. Like I do it in my when I type the text. But the idea is, when's the best time to do it? Now. Do it now. Every time you see the post, don't save it. Do it now. And the reason why I try to make all these routines 2 minutes, yes, you're not going to get crazy benefits from it. Yes, of course, doing a 15, 20-minute routine or an hour routine is much better than doing a 2-minute routine. But the thing is, a lot of you guys are not there yet. You're not there yet. Meaning, you haven't shown up for yourself. You need to shift your identity to a person who shows up. So this is actually the secret. The secret to getting what you want is not only to get into rhythm, this is coming to me as I think about it, is to show up every single day. Every single day. Because when you show up every day, it becomes easy. Like for me, I post on this platform, on these 3 platforms, every single day. And I make it easy for me to show up. Have you guys noticed? Like my reels, my shorts, they're not highly edited. Very easy to make. The camera quality is probably not that good. But it's easy for me to show up. And as I continuously show up every single day, yes, the quality of my posts are not great, but I'm showing up. A lot of times me just posting on social media, whether it's YouTube or Instagram or Facebook, it's just for me. It's just for me showing up. Even if the post, I'm like, oh my God, I have no idea what to post. I'll just post the same routine I did the day before. Meaning I'll remake the video. That way I show up on camera, but I'm making it easy for me to stay in rhythm. Because the minute I make a decision not to post on a certain day, or if I stop posting every single day, I'm going to get out of the flow. So the secret to getting what you want, whatever it is you want, is learning to get into rhythm. How do you get into rhythm? You show up every single day. When you show up every single day, you start to acquire skills. Most people quit. You need to make it easy for you to show up. If you just do this, I promise you'll start getting what you want. Whether it's more money, more social skills, so that way you could be more attractive. Whether it's you want to grow your social media following. You just got to show up every single day. So again, what's the secret to getting what you want? You got to get good. How do you get good? You need to get in rhythm. How do you get into rhythm? By showing up every single day. And when you start to show up every single day, consistently, your skill set starts to multiply. It's like really, really weird, like how things compound. Like, for instance, for me to get my first few thousand followers on Instagram took me about like 7 or 8 or 9 months of just constantly posting. Like, I felt like I wasn't making any progress at all. Then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, and I remember it particularly with Instagram, it was October 2021. Out of nowhere, I picked up 70,000 followers. And I was like, whoa. Like, it felt like I wasn't going anywhere. And all of a sudden, October 2021, on Instagram, it just blew up because I was consistently showing up every single day. I got into rhythm. It got to the point where if I didn't post on a certain day, every day, if I didn't post on a day, it felt weird. So you need to decide, what is it that you want? Once you make a decision, what it is that you want, ask yourself, what skills do I have to acquire in order for me to get it? Once you realize the skills, what you have to do, how can I do this every single day, even if it's just for 5 to 10 minutes? Because the idea at first is not to get good, it's to get into rhythm. It's to make it easy to show up. And if you do that and you continuously show up, things start to compound. And before you know, it's easy to work on this skill set for an hour. And I'm telling you, it's easy. It's so easy. What I know now at the age of 36, I'm like, wow. And I'm so young. I'm so young. Because a lot of people never figure this out. It's like, you just need to keep going. You need to make it easy to show up. You just have to show up. You just show up consistently every single day, particularly like if it's something like working out. And I'm pretty sure the kid that I was talking to at the gym, he's not going to do what I said. Just show up to the gym for 5 minutes. He's going to think showing up to the gym for 5 minutes is a waste of time. But what he doesn't realize is by doing this little drill, showing up every day for 5 minutes at the gym, being a person that works out is going to completely shift your identity. And once you shift your identity, it becomes easy to do the thing that you must do, which is develop skills, which is get good. Get good. The reason why you don't have what you want is because you're not good. You're not good. You got to accept the fact that you're not good right now. But if you decide, if you make the decision today to show up, get into rhythm, and consistently get into rhythm to the point where it becomes easy to do the thing that most people aren't going to do, I promise you, you get what you want. So I hope that made sense. It's literally the secret to getting whatever it is you want, within reason, of course. Within reason, because I know there's somebody going to be in the comment section like, well, technically not this and this. Within reason. Within reason. If you're 27 years old and your dream is to make it to the professional sports league and people at the age of 27 don't make it, it's probably not going to happen. However, you can still, at the age of 27, get pretty good at basketball to where you could play in some rec league or some park league, and it's pretty cool. All right? So I hope that made sense. Leave any feedback in the comment section. I'll see you next time. Peace.